No, run. I thought about making another video of these because I know I made one previously, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to kind of get like little bit of an update on how my shadow base is doing. So yeah, for starters, I think I've gone to what is it, like level 7 on this. It progressively gets more and more and the such. That kind of makes sense. But I think what I've been doing, right, is I've been trying to max out the amount of things I need for this thing, and to a certain degree, it kind of just makes sense. Like, you need where kind of need to balance out which thing you have. And essentially, I've tried to maximize how many people are doing what. I'm not necessarily caring too much about the rewards currently, because they really don't serve me like in the long run. Well, I guess they do serve me in the long run, but these kind of just amass progressively. These are just extra things that I get. And so, what I've essentially done, I've maximized the amount of, put it like this, right? A certain amount of characters can be fed with certain things. The more characters you have, the more food they'll request and such. The amount of characters you own, these are the characters you own, have to meet the amount of food you provide for them. So, in order to do that, just kind of take a look at your count. And typically there will be two options. Sometimes you will be a little bit over the food budget, or a little bit too much food kind of thing. Your goal is to either equalize the amount or not, or equalize the amount between food and the amount of people you have, and try not to get too much, because you can have 10 people, like an extra 80, and they'll give you room for 340, but you'd be wasting away 10 people that you don't need. The reason being is you don't need 300 people worth or you don't need the amount of food for 340 people. You need the amount of 300, right? So the tip for this was just kind of keep this number the same as this number, preferably. Preferably this is just the same as this one. If this gets a little higher than this one, it's fine. Having an extra piece of food when you kind of like have this amount of food, you can use them otherwise, either way, right? So it kind of just goes to show like you can have a little bit more than you need to, and it'll be fine. Let's put it like this, right? So say you stop feeding them, right? So 299 people are currently in work. If I take one of these away, I can only have 296. So I do need this 70. And if I keep going and going and going, so I've taken away 7 people from here, and I can only feed 272. So I've lost the workforce about 20. It's definitely worth investing on the food at times, but primarily focus on the constructors. I focus on whichever one you need the most of. Say one is building like the stone and whatever. Focus on that one first. I kind of have these balanced out because these are the ones that give me the most trouble. This one just is just going on and the such. I need more wood than anything, so I kind of just left it at that. I'm currently trying to get more people because it just, if I release these 10 people, right? So if I upgrade this one, I'm gonna have enough people for like what? So I'm gonna get an extra 20 people. So I'm gonna gain what? An extra 100, I think. So an extra 20 people is like an extra 100. Yeah, an extra 100. And it's not necessarily like a bad thing to have more like of the stuff to play around with, but it just doesn't make any sense to just have. Because I actually made this mistake a couple times, and I've gotten a bit annoyed at it. I have bought the warehouse, like, the only reason this one is this level, because it would have been probably the same as this one, to be completely honest, was because I kept clicking this, and as I kept changing it, I would click on this, and then went back, and then click OK. And I thought, because you click on this one, and it changes, and then you click OK, and I'm like, okay, that should be fine. But don't make this mistake I did. you have to click back or anywhere else. I've made the mistake way too many times, at least 2, which is already more than enough. And I've slowed down my growth on my shadow base quite a bit. It happens. Misinput happens. Especially if you're trying to you change this and you change it to whatever you want. And if you don't already know this, you can actually select this. I kind of saw this in the post. I thought this was, by the way, I originally thought this was gonna be for whatchamacallit. This was gonna be like dependent on the materials you have unlocked. It's actually dependent on the level you have, so you can actually earn some of the higher tier materials by having a higher level. Which actually kind of reminded me a few things. So, this is like a dual tip on the such, but just kind of like if you have your little boxes here, right? I believe like a great way to tell what materials you're gonna get is through the shadow base. I haven't really tested this quite yet, but I think the best thing you can probably get is like being max level and then using those boxes. So I haven't used them quite yet, because I thought it'd probably be like best to save them till max level. I'm a bit of like a patient guy, so I'll do that. I have no need to like use them, and when I do, I'm probably gonna have enough to upgrade everybody in my party. Not quite, to be honest, but I mean, we'll see. But yeah, yeah, depending on, I think it's depending on your levels, and this kind of shows you when you unlock certain things. So you can probably go off this if you want to like start with some other things on your thing as your like unlockables and whatever. But either way, y'all have a good one and stay solid. I hope this helps you.